Miss Reed. I'm flying. No, you're not. You're just on the front of a boat. Don't take my fun away. I'm flying. Whee! I'm flying. Hey everybody, I'm outside because it's so nice and breezy after we had that crazy storm come through, but it's really nice and cool, and it's not really hot and unbearable. It's nice. So I'm gonna read a story out here. And from our big day of boating, Sally's in the house resting because she had so much fun while she was fishing and swimming in the lake that she was really tired. And that'll happen sometimes when you're outside for a long time. I, on the other hand, have lots of energy. So I'm gonna read a story. And it's Wednesday evening. And I hope you all have had a great week so far. So we're gonna read another story that Ollie's grandma gave us. She gave me a whole bunch of books for our preschool. And this was in the box of books that she gave us. And it's called A House is a House for Me. And it's by Mary Ann Hoberman, illustrated, drawn, the pictures are drawn by Betty Fraser. A house is a house for me. Look at all those people and all those animals, and we're gonna find out where things live, I guess. A house is a house for me. Oh, this is cool. The letters, it says a house is a house for me, but each letter is something different. Look what they made, the O. The O's a pumpkin. The S is a duck. Look how cool that is. You could do that with the letters in your name. You could see what kinds of things you could come up with. A looks like a beehive. That's really creative. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And a house is a house for me. Whoa, thought my phone was gonna fall. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There is nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. And a house is a house for me. So all the little creatures in the world have some kind of house that they live in. A coop? That's a house for a chicken. A sty? That's a house for a sow. A fold? That's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn? That's a house for a cow. It is also, of course, a house for a horse. Lots of rhyming words. That's interesting. A coop is a chicken house. A sty is a sow. Oh, a pig. A sty is a pig, or a sow is a pig. So a pig lives in a sty. It's called a pig sty. Another name for pig is sow. A fold is where sheep gather to sleep. And a barn, we know what a barn is. It's a house for a cow and a house for a horse, of course. A kennel's house. A kennel is a house for a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move in on me. So a flea likes to live on a dog, and fleas make doggies itch. Sometimes they'll scratch at their necks. Long time ago, our doggie had fleas, and she would scratch until we got rid of all the fleas. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bed bug beds down in a bed. Ooh. We don't want bed bugs living in our beds. No, thank you. No, thank you. Mosquitoes like, oh, did I miss a page? Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake, but a house is a house for me. I actually caught a snake while we were out fishing at Buckeye Lake. I just made a rhyme. Let me see if I can do more. I caught a snake while fishing at the lake. I tried to get the snake in my net. He slithered and squirmed and went into my net, and that snake, would you believe, I did get. And I actually did catch him in my net. And we just kind of looked at him, and he was squirming around, and then he just kind of jumped out of my net back into the water. A shell is a dwelling for shellfish. For oysters and lobsters and clams, each snail has a shell, and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down in a river. Now what do you know about me? Look at all of those animals. That's a lot of detail in that picture, a lot of drawing. An igloo's a house for an Eskimo. A teepee's a house for a Cree. That's a type of Native American. A pueblo's a house for a Hopi, and a wigwam may hold a Mohi. Those are different types of people from different parts of the world. They're called different things. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar's a house for a plane. Did you know where they keep planes is called a hangar? It's not like a hanger that you hang clothes on in your closet. It's a different way to spell hanger. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship, and a terminal's house for a train. We have a dock that our boat lives at when we're not using it. A husk is a house for a corn ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? Even nuts, even foods have homes, don't they? A nut lives in a shell, ear of corn lives in a husk. Very interesting. A glove is a house for a hand. A stocking is a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. Look what they're building out of the snow mound. Looks like it might be like a cave or maybe an igloo they're building in the snow. Under the ground, look at that. Under the ground is a house for, what is that? Is that a squirrel or is that a chipmunk? I think it's a squirrel. Oh, there's little mice underground too sleeping. Oh, it's probably nice and warm under there. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then the tea house will turn into me. Well, I know what that picture's from. Do you know what that picture's from? It's from a famous movie. The Mad Hatter, the March Hare, Alice in Wonderland. I love that movie. It's a wacky, kooky, crazy movie. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. Huh. So I guess it doesn't have to be a living thing to have a house. A cracker lives in a box. Well, the king lives in a castle. Huh. Look, his castle's full of boxed crackers. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it is true that the more you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. Look at all these pictures. All of these things have houses. A baseball mitt is a house for a baseball. A drum is a house for drumsticks. What else? An Easter basket is a house for Easter eggs. A bowl is a house for a salad. A hand is a house for Band-Aids, maybe? Oh, Joey. A baby kangaroo is called a Joey, and his little house is inside his mama's pouch. Oh, kangaroos are cool. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich is home for some ham. That is a big barrel of pickles. I bet you Grammy Pickle Pockets has those in her kitchen. Matter of fact, I know she does. I've seen it. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and my hat is a house for my head. And I'm wearing my little captain sailing hat because we were out on the water. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I am stretching things some. A mirror's a house for reflections. A throat is a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think, how pockets are houses for pennies and pens can be houses for ink. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, there's more. How peaches are houses for peach pits and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage and garbage makes houses for germs. Ooh. Yeah, garbage, germs. And yes, little worms. If a peach isn't very good, a little worm might squiggle its way inside of it and live there and eat the peach. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes and baskets and bins, and rag bags and rubbers and roasters and tablecloths, toasters and tins. Oh my gosh, all those things have homes? I suppose. A kitchen's a home for a toaster. A pantry's a home for cans, maybe? I don't know. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or it lives in a house, and a house is a house for me. So much detail in these pictures. This is a great book. If you ever get back to the library, you ought to check this book out. There's a lot of pictures to look at up close that you could just like stare at the picture and you can see all kinds of little detailed things. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret. A secret I will never tell. Is it for a surprise birthday party? Oh, I think it might. A flower's at home in a garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. There's the donkey living in a stall. Pretty flowers. Each creature that's known has a house of its own. And, oh, there's more. Look at all those animals. And they all have a house of some kind, whether it's in the jungle, in the forest. And the earth is a house for us all. Amen to that. Look at all of those things. Living on we all share the earth, don't we? The earth belongs to all of us. It doesn't just belong to you. It doesn't just belong to me. It doesn't just belong to the elephant or the lion or the bears or the clowns or the giraffes. It belongs to everybody. We all have a home somewhere on the earth. Well, that was a really cool book. That was a long book, but my goodness, what pretty pictures. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Sally must still be resting because I don't see her. I'm looking at my door and she's not like yelling to come out, so she must be really tired. But anyway, I will see you all next week. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I love you to the moon. I love you to the stars. I love you past Jupiter and past Mars. I love you right back down to the earth. And that is a whole lot. And Jeannie Jean says, wash those hands. Jimmy Jim says, wash those hands, cover those coughs and sneezes. And let's all be kind and give your smiles to everyone you see, whether or not they smile back at you. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. And keep that chin up. I'm gonna make a heart for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.